So Kaz Brecker has the saddest backstory I have ever come across. I'm not going to spoil it or anything. I'm not going to actually talk details about it or anything in this video too, no spoilers, but oh my god, when I read the actual backstory of Kaz Brecker in like the little flashbacks within the story, within the Six of Crows, I actually did have to put the book down for a second. That was a cat moving. Camera, sorry. I did actually have to put the book down for a second to just absorb what happened. I do love it though. I do love a sad backstory. So yeah, Six of Crows, obviously by Leigh Bardugo, is connected to the Shadow and Bone universe, but it's its own like duology with Crooked Kingdom shortly after this one. Haven't read that one yet, but obviously read Six of Crows. Love it. It's wonderfully dark and gritty, and I will admit I haven't read Shadow and Bone, which takes place before this, and I have seen the first season of the Netflix adaptation, and I liked the adaptation. I thought it was fine. I didn't get too deep into it though. And I will admit though, in that adaptation, these guys kind of stole the show for me. I'll admit I do have the like show version of like the cover. I know like stereotypical book reviewers and book talkers kind of hate the movie poster or the movie poster book cover ones, and like I kind of do too, but also like I do like this one. I like these characters. These actors were really good too. I do hate the Netflix sticker adaptation on it. That white circle doesn't come off, but it was the Crows that stole the show for me. I'm not going to deny that. And I think that's kind of mostly just from my own tastes kind of changing, because I will also add that I first read Leigh Bardugo, my first introduction to her was Ninth House. But my tastes are changing, and I'm kind of growing away from the more stereotypical YA stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. Hell, I'm rereading Murtagh by Christopher Paolini too, so like, they're not shifting that much. And Shadow and Bone does have enough like uniqueness to it in its world building that this one obviously like shares. That was like, it was unique enough. I did like it. I am sad that it was canceled though. Like that sucks. But long story short, after all the little rambly bits, I was more compelled to continue Six of Crows, or at least read the Six of Crows side of things. Because Kaz and his crew, the Crows, need to assemble like their team to break into a Russian-style prison up in like the wintry forest mountains to get a scientist guy out who is making highly addictive drugs to power up, like steroid, their Grisha, the mages. And the opening scene, just the prologue of this, of that one Grisha lady, I think she was a healer, I don't remember the term of her powers, but when she, took that drug in like an experiment, this is just the prologue, that hook was honestly kind of scary. The concept here instantly drew me in, and the world building already made it unique, and I was just here for like the cool, like almost Peaky Blinders vibes. But I will also say Peaky Blinders, but more YA. Totally fine with that. Minus Kaz's backstory. His backstory goes hard. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not getting into spoilers. I'm not going to talk about anything like hugely plot relevant. I do want to talk about the characters though, so there will be mild spoilers around them. I'm sorry if the camera is shaking now and then. My cat Alice is just constantly walking past the little tripod making it move. So yeah, no spoilers plot-wise and story-wise. Mild spoilers just character talking-wise for like context and stuff. And I do want to start with Kaz and Inej. I love them, but I have more to say on Matthias and Nina. So I do like, the enemies to lovers trope, right? I am a sucker for that. But I will also kind of admit, hear me out, it's a rocky foundation. But I also get why Matthias is that mad. Not that I would ever condone, him strangling her the moment they reunite. Not cool. But I get why he's mad in that case, and not about like his side of like the racism and the stuff that he was kind of brainwashed into. I like his arc growing away from all of that, but she did throw him in prison. Like, she's kind of the reason he's in a very bad situation as well. And she feels bad about it. Like, she stayed behind to try to like help get him out somehow, trying to figure out how to get him out, but also like, oh, it's a bit of a crack at the foundation here. I get that they're like furiously in love with each other, right? And we learn about a good foundation for them for their little romance in the flashbacks, but it's that foundation that like cracked and they're trying to rebuild off of it, which I think in the long run, I believe that they can. I think they're okay, but I do also think they just need couples therapy just to talk about some things. I'm rooting for them, but they had a very rocky like middle bit in there. Now Kaz, our classically tragic sad boy with extra salt poured and ground into his wounds. I love his backstory, obviously. I love the revenge arc. I love where that goes. I love the trajectory of that. And slight twists, like I said, no spoilers, but slight how that ends up. And I love how he wants to heal. He wants to heal, but he's not letting himself. Not yet, in a way, in regards to that revenge stuff. And that is showcased perfectly in his dynamic with Inej, who also has a wonderfully tragic backstory and is staunchly holding on to her faith and her loyalty to her friends. I love Inej. She's probably like my second favorite character because she has more hope for the future and she's excited for it and she has earned it, damn it. And the struggling dynamic of like, you initially think it's one-sided romance, but it's actually kind of not. He's into her too. Like, little dynamic they're trying to figure out, Kaz and Inej are trying to figure out, and that they're both like aware of. I did squeak now and then because like the mutual pining was subtle, but also like so strong at the same time that they're both kind of like denying at the beginning, and just I squeaked a couple of times. Waylon, not Will. Little kitty gargoyle has decided to join us. I had to remind myself on one character's name because I'll admit, I totally forgot his name. But it wasn't Jasper. I remember Jasper. But I want to talk about Jasper and Waylon. I thought his name was Will. It's not Will. It's Waylon. Now, a little context just about me. I'm a character-based reader. I will go along with whatever plot we've got. You look headless. Hey, there you are. I will go along with whatever the plot, whatever wild turns the plot is taking, probably blind to plot holes, because if there's an inconsistency that was like mentioned or clarified back like 100 pages ago, I'm probably not going to remember it. I'm mostly here for the characters. I'll go along with the plot. If it's an egregious thing, sure, I'm going to notice it. But like, most of the time I'm just here for the ride. But if the characters don't grab me, I'm not into it. And Jesper is fun. Jesper is fun. I do like him as a character. He was a great addition to the crew, but he also just kind of felt like an addition to the crew to help round out the cast. I do like the surprises around him in regards to some plot things and like his dynamic with Waylon. And like, sure, he is like vital to their escape and everything out of the prison, but also like, I don't know, maybe Crooked Kingdom, he'll have more focus, a little more something to contribute. And actually, as I'm just kind of like thinking this out, Matthias and Nina have the most focus in their like romance end of things. Kaz and Inej are next, but they're the one I find a little bit more compelling too. And then there's also Jesper and Waylon. They're also there too. And actually, now that I think about it too, are you more of a character-based reader or are you more of a plot-based reader? Because there probably is a distinction there. But yeah, overall in the grand scheme of like the story, absolutely loved it. Super excited for Crooked Kingdom. I really want to see where the revenge plots are going. And the certain ending that happens here, you know, cliffhanger-wise. How dare you, but I love it. So I guess I'll wrap this up by saying those are my quick thoughts in regards to the characters of Six of Crows. And they're definitely all like paired off into those romantic standings. Also a quick channel update. You might have noticed this is a slightly different location. I'm in the exact same house. I just moved over into a different room in a different little like corner. I want to get more cross-stitching things up on the little side here. But we're going back down to one video per week, usually on Saturdays. I got a full-time job again and I can't really maintain the whole like 2 videos per week thing. So trying to balance that, trying to balance this, trying to balance other social media things. Also my own writing that I want to do and an editing side business that I like to do. There's a few things I need to balance, guys. I can't just do YouTube videos all the time. So yeah, we're getting 1 video per week and maybe like a short in between with like nice little, I don't know, maybe like writing updates or something. So yeah, feel free to like and subscribe. Maybe share this to other Six of Crow fans if you just want to talk about maybe like character dynamics. I'm all for that. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.